So it's whether Caleb can come back there. Shannon Reeves and Nick Baxter. So Shannon Reeves lost in round 1. He's lost in round 2. So look, Shannon's going into round 3 against Nick Baxter, who's 1 from 2. So look, at the worst, Nick can end up 2 from 3 there, or Shannon 1 from 3. If you can go 2 from 3, Nick, it just depends on ET in the last round and how everyone else goes. Phil Penny and Mark Talbot. So tonight, Phil couldn't get himself any wins, so he's none from 2 for round 3. Mark Talbot won in round 1 because of a solo, lost to Scott Cortina. So Mark Talbot goes in there as 1 from 2. Scott Cortina gets the bye, and he is he lost in round 1, won in round 2, gets the bye in round 3. So he's already going to be 1 from 2, and he's going to end up 2 from 3. Righto. So Scott Cortina is 2 from 3. It's just how the rest of them go. Now, they're all frothing at the bit on the live stream. They don't want to miss any of the action as we've got round 3 just about ready to happen. Remember, we're talking about all the scenarios climbing up from our 235 cars. So let's look at Outlaw 275, thanks to Outlaw Exhaust and Performance. Who's the most eligible to win the 10 grand or the 5,000 spot on performance runner-up? Chef Campbell Brown is supposed to run Nathan Rose, but we've just had word that Nathan is out. They've done a thrust or done something in the engine that they're not going to risk it. So Campbell Brown is going to get himself probably 3 from 3, but he can't just roll down the track. He's got to run a number, because next one is Lorenzo against Connor. Lorenzo's 2 from 2 as well. Connor got a round 1 win, a round 2 loss. So Connor is 1 from 2 against Lorenzo in round 3. Danny today, another one, no wins for Danny today. He goes in against Jared Blair, who's 1 from 2. And Mr. Nuts gets the bye. And Mr. Nuts goes in as none from 2 to finish off his account. He'll have another punt at it. So look, it's all for Lorenzo and Campbell Brown to do something horribly wrong there to maybe not make them eligible for the final. And Outlaw Radial, thanks to Lotus Caravans, paying out the 10 tonight, and 5,000 runner-up thanks to Race Parts Melbourne. This is how round 3 looks very shortly. Andrew Zada and Daniel Sobolix race each other. Now, Z is 1 from 2. Sobolix is 2 from 2. So Z can, if he does a good run against Sobolix, they'll both end up 2 from 3 and be looking at ET. Wade Wagstaff is up against George. George is 1 from 2. Wade is a clean 2 from 2. Again, if George does something there, they both end up 2 from 3. Paul Merry's 2 from 2 against Johnny Ricker. Johnny did not have a win in round 1. He did not have a win in round 2. So Johnny is none from 2 and nothing to lose. If he takes out Mary, Mary ends up 2 from 3. Smithy's on a bye. Smithy couldn't get a win today. Couldn't get through the burnout in round 1. Round 2, had to race Symbolics and lost. So he goes in and he'll end up with 1 from 3. So potentially, if the tables get turned on a couple of these pairings that we're about to see, they'll all be on 2 from 3. So we've got to take the 2 quickest DTs in this round to send them to the final. So that's the way it's going to go here, as we are spraying the track for the last, well, you would assume nearly our last time. We're in the 3rd round. It's a battle of attrition. We've had some breakage. We've lunched some stuff. We've run some numbers. We're just about to see how we crown our finalists. We don't crown our winners yet. We're crowning our finalists. It takes a lot to get to the top of this mountain. We ain't even at the top of it yet. We ain't even to the top. And again, it's turned out absolutely, we could not plan this at all. You cannot plan this stuff. Have a look at the depth, the quality, all the way through. We've seen big numbers everywhere, and I don't know why we need to stop just yet, because we're only at 6:45. I don't think we're super mega cold out there. The track shouldn't be cooling off that bad. I do remember there's a little event that we had here late last year, a Midnight Mayhem, where I think we're running at 20 to 2 in the morning, and Jared Woods went 360, I think 361, didn't he? At 20, It was a bit different time of year. It was later in the year. It was like November, wasn't it, or something? It was late in the year. May have even been December. We did have a little bit more heat at that time of night than what it gets here. What's it, 17? Look, that ain't too bad. I don't know what we are on track. We'd be maybe a little bit above that, but, you know, before too long, you just never know. We've just got to get the next group down, see how they all go. But we are nearly at that stage where the spray rig's done its job. We've got getting all of our competitors into the lanes now. I can see them all lined up. And it's going to be interesting because we've got two Pro Charge guys ready to run each other. Screw blower versus Pro Charger, two turbos against each other. One on his own if he chooses to come and have one more run. I'm just seeing whether Smithy's there or whether they might be at the back there. They might want to give that. They might be chasing it. You don't know. It'd be good to see Smithy come back one more time, even though technically it is a dead rubber. All right, Simon O'Swanstrom's an hour away. Just giving everyone the heads up. He's an hour away. It's looking to be some good finals, isn't it? What, Simon? Isn't it what? Big finals. It's an hour away. You might just get here for the final, Simon. He's making the track. Has he fixed some stuff and he's coming down to test or something? Is he? Oh, he's got to pick the truck up and everything. Geez, he's done some miles between Brisbane and Sydney, hasn't he? Just a bit. I shouldn't say you almost do that in your sleep. It's just been everywhere. Simon O'Candles has been everywhere. But there's our staging lanes. They're lining up there. We've got Johnny Ricker, Paul Mary. We've got Wade Wagstaff and George Jezewski. The boogeyman's at the back there. I think we can see the boogeyman at the back. He's got to do symbolic. So we haven't seen. Oh, is the orange one there? They're here now, right now. Okay. Are they? I don't know. I thought I saw the orange one in behind there yet. I don't know. Let's just see. Oh, it's all shaping up well here, folks. Here we go. Let's just see who goes to the final. It's a $10,000 win and a $5,000 runner-up. Do we end up with 4 guys on 2 from 3? Do we see someone go bang, 3 from 3? Anyone's guess. Never predicted. This is why I think these guys are they're on the hook. These guys are addicted to this stuff. I mean, these things are mega commitment cars. They are almost the ultimate commitment car. So what makes them come back to do it again and again? It's moments like this. There's your opponent. Let's go. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being so patient. Round number 3. Round number 3. Who goes to the final of Outlaw Radial tonight, thanks to Lotus Caravans and Race Parts Melbourne? 2 from 2 for Symbolics, 1 from 2 for Zada. But if Zada upsets him here, they're both 2 from 3. Strap yourself in. Buckle up. And cover your ears. Listen to this, supercars. Supercars? Never heard of her. All right, these boys, they want the number. They want to get this thing down. They want to get this thing to the 660 in a fair rate of knots. They love to see something with a 60 on it, but right now I reckon they want anything in the 70s. I think they just want something that's going to be safe. If they're going to go for the throat, now's the time to run a 60. The only guy, I mean, Zada ran a 60. Wagstaff's run a 60 today. We know Symbolics has run a 50. Wagstaff's run a 50 before. And Zada's the quickest guy out there at 3:54. Have we got an issue with the boogeyman, or is he ready to go? Oh, we're pushing the boogeyman back, are we? No. No, no, no. Issues with the boogeyman. Is he good? Oh, there's a leak. There's a little leak there. There's a little leak. We're setting him on a solo. So Bollocks is going to go 3 from 3 here, but what ET? Because this will affect lane choice. The boogeyman's out. No more for Zada today. Damn it. He could have really thrown it in the mix if he took it to Zabolix. He would have really thrown it in the mix, but Zabolix is going to go 3 from 3. What ET though? Oh, that thing just scooted out of the hole. 978. 978 to the 60. And he's going to go 4.668. And he's 3 from 3 with a 4.668. And you would have to say, nearly in the clubhouse, guaranteed a finals berth. But, yeah, look, leakage out of the boogeyman. That's not good. Leakage out of the boogeyman, and that shut him down. That's every driver's nightmare, is to have someone notice something dripping out of your car, enough attention to say, we've got to shut you down, mate, you've got something leaking, and that's an instant shutdown. And so Bollocks goes 9.7 something in the 60. I think it went 9.78 in the 60. But that thing went nuts after that. That thing went crazy on the steer. Now, look, it's kind of done that a bit today. It's actually gone for a walk out past the 60 as something that power starts to come in. And it's gone for a wild wander there, but he got off it just at the nick of time. But Bollocks is there. He's ready to prepare the car towards a finals berth. That's if he gets in. Because if Paul Merry beats John Ricker and goes quicker than a 4.66, Paul Merry could be in there. If Wade Wagstaff beats George Jezewski and goes quicker than a 4.66, he's in there. So right now, Zabolix is defending a 4.66 there at 3 from 3. And that, sometimes we know, ain't enough. So we're just making sure whatever Zeta's dropped there, whatever it was enough to get pushed back, which is a shame. We know the big boy will not be happy with that. And honestly, you think how many... I'd love to know, actually. You need to ask him how many laps he's done this year. Like, I've never seen commitment like that. Like, he went after that number until he got it. And he's got it now, and he's not going to stop. We talk on the phone. Like, after he ran the 54, he rang me on the Saturday night and told me that the incrementals that he's got out there all lead to a 340. He said, we can be as quick as they are in America because I've got the incrementals to show that if we put everything together on the one run that I've got with incrementals in short time and 330, that thing should be a 340 car. All right, Paul Merry, John Ricker. We're going to put them there before Wagstaff and Jezewski. Yeah, that left side there for Johnny, that passenger side, well, is it left-hand drive? I talk about left side of the car. It's just a little bit of a smoke ring out of that left-hand dump pipe. So I'd still say that cylinder where she hit the piston, where the old piston was damaged and they changed it over, she's not 100%. It still went a 79 beside Wagstaff. So Paul Merry's got to be on it here. Ricker can put a 70 against him here, and Paul Merry, all of a sudden, Paul Merry's 2 from 2 will end up 2 from 3, and Ricker will be 1 from 3. But it'll be a scalp to take, and maybe Johnny Ricker's on the run home here. Let's see how we go. Paul Merry's our Queensland hope here with Wade Wagstaff. We could make it at all quick. Well, if he goes hard here, Merry, quicker than a 66 and goes 3 from 3, technically it could nearly be an all Queensland final. Let's see what George Jezewski has to say about that against Wagstaff. Run of the round now. Mind you, this is run of the round. Outlaw Radial, turbo against turbo. 572 cubes of Nova, 521 cubes of Camaro. We get to go to Bump City one more time here in Outlaw Radial. Can you hear it? Can you feel it? Ready? Let's go down the street. Let's get into that city one more time. Clean green, oh, 105, 104, oh, Mary's on a march. 380 for Mary, 380 for Mary. 380, 211, 3800, 3800, 211 mile an hour. Johnny Ricker, 422, 192. Paul Mary, 3 from 3 with a 580. 3 from 3 with a 580. I think that thing went... Honestly, I'm sure that power stood its way down the track there as well. Johnny Ricker, 044 on the light there for Mary too. He let the button go at the right time too, so we whole shot Ricker. Ricker was putting up a good fight there until a bit further out, and then it's given it up the ghost. But right now, Paul Mary, 38000, 3 from 3 with a 38000. So, if anything else didn't happen now, he'd have Symbolics on late choice, but we've still got this to happen. We've still got this to happen. 211 mile an hour for the Nova. Oh, Georgie, give it some. Georgie's getting into it. Mr. Lotus Caravans, thank you, Georgie, for all your support. He'll be cursing that cherry in round one. He had Paul Mary on toast in round one. Could have stopped Mary in round one, but that red light in the 381. But hey, we don't go back and look at everything that went wrong. We look at everything that went right. And George, this is, you know, it's the best racing we've got in this country. And you wouldn't have it any other way, or else you wouldn't have Lotus Caravans on Wade Wagstaff's doors or Daniel Sybolic's doors. You do want to beat the guy you sponsor a little bit, I know you do. But so, Wade's the man to beat. Everyone's been after Wade for a little while. Hello, Reds for what reason? Reds for what reason? Reds for what reason? Going for a wander. Checking that lane for the 57. Checking that lane. Did we find something on the Nova that we didn't like? Did we find something on the Nova we didn't like? It's no. All right, the Reds are gone. The Reds are gone. I don't know, Simon, if that's a mile an hour record for Paul. I reckon it's got to be 211. Sure, it's got to be a mile an hour record for Paul. That's a block of flats, by the way. That's a record for a block of flats. All right, they walk away from the car. Josefsky and Wagstaff, 2 Noonans, at it again. Oh, Wagstaff, 992, 012, 370. 370, 012 light for Wagstaff, and the win, 3701. He goes 3 from 3, 3 from 3. And a 3701 beats Josefsky's 996, 992 to the 60, 996. And Dan has just done himself out of a final. 3 from 3 with a 466. If he didn't shut off, if he ran somewhere between that 380 and that 370, he would be in the final. But by all indications, it looks like it's Wade Wagstaff up against Paul Mary in the final. Wagstaff on the tree against George, 012 on the light, both in the 9960 foots, and then that's it, 3701 to go 3 from 3 against against George Josefsky. So George ends up 1 from 3. 1 from 3. Symbolics 3 from 3, but yeah, that 66 and that crazy shut-off run cost him a spot in the final. Smithy gets a solo here, and it is going to be Wade Wagstaff from Queensland against Paul Mary from Queensland in the final. All right, that's the first one. Oh, we better put down what Smithy's doing. Yeah, I don't know whether that's a mile an hour record for Paul. I'd say it's got to be. I can't remember it going 211. That normally gets your attention. 012 for Wagstaff. He was ready. Let's just, you know, we've seen that guy Cherry before. Remember that. So we just don't know what's going to happen in the final there. But both guys are going to be ready. Mary and Wagstaff. I didn't even catch the light for Paul Mary. It was an 04 or something. So this is just the best damn racing you've ever seen, folks. It's the best damn racing you've ever seen. It's the numbers at the right time, and those numbers. He's had a 9-month layoff, Wade Wagstaff, and he's come back. Call him Big Daddy Wagstaff. 371 in round 1, 369.0 in round 2, 37.01 in round 3. Paul Merry, round 1, I didn't get his ET. I think he shut off because of the red light. Round 2, it went 567, nothing. Round 3, just pulled out a 380 flat. So on form in the last 3 rounds, Wagstaff is back to his best. Steve Smith going to run his pro line down one more time. Hopefully Smithy's starting to get the handle on it. They had to do a converter swap. Oh, boy, Smithy, it was out. It wanted it. It wanted it. It wanted it good. Wanted it good, and then Amchi didn't hang it, didn't hold it. Did not hold it. Could not hold it. And it is the weekend for Smithy and the team. Smithy, Ricky and Kevy. Good dynamic trio there in that camp. And geez, they've done some work on the car. Boy, as if you haven't worked on the car enough on the lead up to an event to do the work on the car during the event. That's an extra level altogether. Extra level altogether. Put your hands together going to the final. Paul Merry, 211 mile an hour. Paul Merry, 211, 38000. Yes, sir, you do deserve a spot in the final and you got it. Is that a record for your speed too? 211. It's our best speed of the meet, isn't it? I think our best speed of the meet's 211. I did write a few notes here just in case some big speeds came up. We had 208 from Johnny Ricker, by the way. So when Johnny came back against Wade in the second round, Johnny's 017 light against Wade's 054. Johnny went 379 at 208. And then we've seen 211 there from Mary. I know we're up at 215, 2 whatever. Johnny, what a thrash, boys, but there you are, 208, 370 in the last round, but then, yeah, just no bananas that round. But boy, the hardest working, they're all hard, the hardest working guys in radial. Every single category, they're pretty much the hardest working guys in radial. These things, they take that much commitment. They essentially could own a damn Top Fueler, these guys. They really could. Budget-wise, dollar-wise, yes, the nitro stuff eats up some parts, but you talk to these guys about parts. These things you just don't turn these things around on a dime, mate. The beasts need. You got to feed the beast, and they've been feeding the beast all year, and we're not done yet. We are at the end of July, folks, but we are nowhere near the end of the year. Is he? Is he? Here? Oh, Dangerous Dave. G'day, Dangerous Dave. Miss you. All right, round number 3. We've got to get the old torch back out here now. Outlaw Exhausted Performance are paying 10 grand tonight for the winner of Outlaw 275. Spot On Performance paying 5,000, the runner-up, and this is round number 3. 2 from 2. Lorenzo Galotto from WA against Connor Begley from WA. No WA team orders here. Connor's going to go out there and try and put a good number down. He went 61 on the previous run. Round number 1 went 473. It is a 6 litre. Lorenzo's is a little bit bigger. It's 573 cubic inches. He's the only guy other than Jeff Campbell-Brown that's actually 2 from 2 coming into round 3. And with Nathan Rose, a late scratching, pulling out with the small block a little bit feeling the thrust. I think he's done a little thrust in the engine, which is about the only place things like that can break now. They're that tough. Got to be something like that, and I don't know how that shows up. Whether you're just getting some getting something in the filter as well. You can get that thrust in the filter. All right, Connor Begley, Lorenzo Galotto. Lorenzo 2 from 2. He'd love to put a good one down here, but he can't. He can't step over the mark here. Connor could get him, but Lorenzo wants to get to the final. Bump City, baby. Lorenzo sings it, Begley does not. So he goes 464, Connor. Lorenzo loses the win to Connor, and he'll go 464 with a 1 and finish with 2 from 3. 2 from 3 with 464 for 1. Lorenzo goes 584 in round 3. He'll go 2 from 3 as well with a 584. Hang on, hold the phone. 2 from 3. So he was 2 from 2. He's now 2 from 3 with a loss. 2 from 3 of the 584. Begley 2 from 3 with a 464. Danny Lansdowne and Jared Blair. No Jared Blair out. So a win to Danny. Guess who else is out there? Jeff Campbell-Brown. So Jeff's going to go 3 from 3. Lorenzo. Damn, Lorenzo. No, but that might be curtains for him. Quickest car all day. 2 from 3. 584. Jeff Campbell-Brown's going to be 3 from 3. And in the final, no matter what happens, Danny Lansdowne will end up 1 from 3, no matter what he runs. So this one doesn't feature other than Campbell-Brown. Whatever Campbell-Brown does here, he's 3 from 3 and in the final. Lorenzo's 2 from 3 and on the outside. He can't get back in. Lorenzo's just at the last minute in the last run zing the tyres against Connor, and Connor's actually now could be in the final. Depends. It could depend. I think it is Connor in the final. Bump City, baby. Well, Campbell-Brown's on one. 410. 4109 at 185. 456 for Danny. Nice couple of runs for Danny there. Earlier run, 454. There's a 456. Campbell-Brown, 3 from 3. Jeff Campbell-Brown. Get this. This is the way it looks, right? This is the way it looks right now. I'm just checking. Connor got the win in round 1. Round 2, Connor lost to Jeff Campbell-Brown. So in round 3, Connor was coming in. 1 from 2. Lorenzo, 2 from 2. Connor beat Lorenzo and went 464. And I think that's Connor Begley against Jeff Campbell-Brown. I think that's what it is. No matter what Mr. Nuts does here, it's not going to feature. That's what I reckon the final is. Jeff Campbell-Brown and Connor Begley. That's what I'm thinking that is. I can't make that look any different. Lorenzo needed something quicker than a 464 against Connor. Even if he lost. If he went quicker than Connor, it's hard to be quicker than Connor and lose. That's what's happened. I think it's Jeff Campbell-Brown and Connor. That's what I'm thinking. Wow. That's what I'm looking at that. Poor Lorenzo. If it's a bitter pill to swallow, it's another WA guy in the final at least. But Lorenzo, damn. It was all there to go back to back. Did it last year. Anyway, Mr. Nuts, one more run at it for the Black Belt Brigade. Let it rip. Good on you, giving it, 492. Perfect, 492 with a 3. He finishes off his account tonight, Randall Laurie. So I think on paper it's Jeff Campbell-Brown and Connor Begley. God, we've got some awards to give away. Fastest 6 spot, I think it's got to be Danny. At 450, 454. 4:54, I think. I think he gets both of those. Most consistent, we're waiting for all the announcers for that. Oh, here we go. He's back. We're writing him off. We're writing him off. Now, don't forget, all of our competitors in Renegade, Rumble, Ruckus, and Rebels, we need you to bring your time slips to presentations with your best reaction times, because Suspension Dynamics is giving us, I think it's money. I think it's a payout for the best reaction time in racing out of those 4 classes: Renegade, Rumble, Rebels, and Ruckus. All races. You need to give us your best reaction time in racing. Bring that to presentations, we'll be able to work it out. All right. Issues for Caleb again. I hope it's not trailing a whole bunch of oil again, is it? Could he find reverse? Cam Riley. No, he's back. He's back. Cam Riley, 2 from 2. Caleb Singh. He lost against his brother. He won against Scott Cortina. So he's in here at 1 from 2. Cam Riley, he's got to be careful here against the kid. We're going to have a whole bunch of them. Can he start? Is it running? It's running. It's running. It's running. It's running. All right. Outlaw 235, thanks to Haltech. $3,000 the win, 1,500 the runner-up tonight. We're trying to see who goes into the final. Cam Riley's 2 from 2. They might have lost reverse, and I suppose you could push it back if it had no reverse, maybe. Anyway, we're in. Bump City, baby. Oh, Cam Riley, 059 light, and a 50! A 50! The quickest run ever in 235. The quickest run ever. The quickest run ever on a 235. Cam Riley goes to the final with a 4.503. 4.503. 3 from 3. A 4.503. Cam Riley puts out the number in round number 3. 4.503. 4.503. He can't do any more than that to get to the final. The man is there. All right, the win's going to go to Scott Cortina, and the win's going to go to Phil Penny, because Scotty comes in at a loss in round 1, a win in round 2. So he is in here at 1 from 2. Phil is none from 2. So look, Scotty can end up 2 from 3. And that might need, we'll have to check this number. Lorenzo, brother, that was the wrong time to go to Spinsville, mate. Lorenzo, I'm crying up here, brother. I'm crying up here, man. I'm a bit shattered. I'm excited, but I'm shattered. Red light to Phil, and he sings the tyres. Cortina, 50 with an 8. 50 with an 8. The 2 quickest 235 runs you've ever seen in one round of racing ever. Cortina, 4.508. Finishes 2 from 3 with a 4. So whatever happened, well, between Seng and Lundy, someone's going to go 3 from 3, right? Whatever's going to happen between Seng and Lundy, someone's going to go 3 from 3. It'll be Cam Riley and the winner of this round. The winner of this pair. But 4.508, 172 mile an hour. This is some big stuff, folks. Sometimes you go to KENDAs and go, you know, sometimes we don't have to set records at every event. And then we end up doing it anyway. And then it comes from somewhere like Outlaw 235. We're cranking this stuff up like you wouldn't believe, ladies and gentlemen. Connor Begley, I think you've done enough to get to the final, Connor. I think you've done enough to get to the final, Connor. I think you have. That's what my numbers are saying here. Everyone else, I mean, it's not rocket science up here. It looks like that's what it is. This is a big number, the biggest number of the night right now. Who goes to the final? Bump City, baby. 019 to Lundy, 039 to Jaden. Lundy. 468 for Lundy. Steve Lundy goes to the final. 468 to a 468. Side by side, 468's the winner, 157,000. 468 to a 468. I reckon that's Steve Lundy. Simon O'Carroll, you've fallen way behind on the 235 stuff. Lorenzo's messaging me about you and Connor are both 2 from 3. Yes, but the 2 quickest DTs in round 3. The 2 quickest DTs in round 3, Lorenzo. The 2 quickest DTs in round 3. It happened to be, yes, Connor. You zinged them and ran a 570, but you needed quicker than a 468. All right, that's 235. OG, where are we? Oh, we still got a bit of Outlaw 235. Sorry, Nick Baxter and Shannon Reeves. I'm going for the Mustang. Oh, Nick Baxter, big power stand. Big power stand. He's going to get it, 536, the win there for Baxter. 536 for Baxter of the wheelie. And Shannon Reeves. Lorenzo's got this hand over his face emoji. What's that? Oh, we do know a few workshops that do barras up there, yes. We could give you a small list. Oh, yes, we can do barras. We can do barras. There's a few places that can do that. All right, so that looks like Cam Riley and Steve Lundy in the final of Outlaw 235. I think that's Connor Begley and Jeff Campbell-Brown for my liking in there. Lorenzo is, we're having some discussions with that, but as it's always been in KENDA, if we're split on decisions for the amount of wins, it's the ETs in the last round. We did talk about that at the briefing this morning. Now, here we go. Clint Hepburn. He comes into this one 2 from 2. Damien Boyce 1 from 2. And again, if something happens there where they both end up 2 from 3, we'll be splitting this thing again. This is how they all end up at the end of the day. We end up with split decisions on wins. We got to break the ET down in the third round. It's the quickest 2 ETs in round 3 if we're split on round wins. If it's a walk in the park and it's a cakewalk, 2, 3 from 3s, it never seems to be that easy. This one as well. Fuel Tech. Oh, boys, 010. Oh, Hepburn just rockets past him. 408 for Hepburn. 408 for Hepburn. 408.2 to a 474. So he ends up 3 from 3. Clint Hepburn. He can't do any more than that. It's going to be hard to get him out. 3 from 3 with a 408. 3 from 3 with a 408. this run might matter. This run matters to James Horan more than Tony Mazzatelli. However, whoever wins this round, if it's Horan, it'll be Hepburn and Horan in the final if the ET is quicker than what Reece Carkeet runs. If Horan goes 3 from 3 and zings the tyres or does a wheelie and rolls off the throttle, Reece Carkeet on his solo might get himself in the final here. That's how tight it is. Twin turbo Hemis, both sides. Anyone? Do you love your black ute with a twin turbo Hemi? We'll give you 2. We didn't even plan this stuff, ladies and gentlemen. We don't plan this stuff. This stuff happens organically. So that's the scenario right now. That's the scenario. Here's a theory. Let's put a scenario through. Mazzatelli takes out Horan and goes like a 430. He ends up 2 from 3 with a 430. Horan might, whatever, he'll end up 2 from 3 with something. But we need to see what the ET is, because Reece Carkeet, when he rocks out, he is on a solo. He is going to go 3 from 3 like Clint Hepburn. He is going to do that. But is that going to be enough ET for Reece Carkeet? This run matters. This run matters more than anything. Whatever Reece does, we know it's going to be a 5.04.90. But these two cars in that bottom 4 second potential, it's either going to go really, really good or it's going to go really, really bad. It's either going to be really, really spectacular or it's going to be really, really Reece in the final on his 22nd birthday. Hold the phone. Here we go. Bump City, 2 Hemi utes. 1 from WA, 1 from Queensland. Oh, Mazzatelli, triple O for Mazzatelli, but it's Horan, 401, 401.3, Mazzatelli, 459, Mazzatelli, 000, Mazzatelli, 000, perfect reaction time. He did everything he could to get Horan, but Horan got him. The black ute beats the black ute. That will be it, unless now Reece Carkeet can run quicker. Hey Reece, I know it's your birthday. I'd love to gift you a run into the final, but you're going to be the 3rd guy at 3 from 3. You only need to run quicker than a 408. I'll take a 480 if I'm feeling dyslexic. I'll take a 470 something and we'll turn it around. But no. So Reece, you're going to go 3 from 3. You're going to probably finish 3rd in the scheme of things here. 3 from 3 tonight. But that's Horan, 3 from 3 with a 401. That's Hepburn, 3 from 3 with a 408. Reece Carkeet, 3 from 3 with whatever he runs here. God, that was exciting. Mazzatelli, 000 when he needed it. Lorenzo, my thoughts are going out to you right now as well, because I think it's all starting to sink in. That was a run. That was a run that could have been yours. Nice wheelie there. Reece takes it to the centre line, runs the night out with a 497. So he goes 3 from 3 with a 497.5. So Reece finishes 3 from 3. Hepburn finishes 3 from 3. Horan finishes 3 from 3. Hepburn and Horan in the final for the $3,000 in OG 315. All right, OG, let me catch a breath. Righto, that's enough. Righto, Joel's Garage Gear, OG 275, round number 3. Mick Wormall, 2 from 2. Barney Lindner, 2 from 2. This run matters. This run matters. God, why do we get so good at this? Why is this so exciting? This is crazy what we're seeing. The numbers we're seeing, the tightness of the racing between making a final and not is incredible. Nitrous and Nitrous. Nitrous small block, Nitrous big block. From WA, Mick Wormall. Barney Lindner from Queensland. Nitrous boys to the front. This run matters. Someone's going to be our first 3 from 3. Someone's going to be our first 3 from 3 right now. Is it Barney Lindner or Mick Wormall? Oh, Barney hole shot. Big hole shot for Barney Lindner. Big one for Big Barney, and Barney's going to use a 5.09 now. 5.09.9. Barney, 3 from 3. Barney, 3 from 3 with a 5.099. Is that enough? He's in the clubhouse. A perfect win record tonight. 3 from 3. Our first 3 from 3. But it's a 5.099. Is that enough to make it to the final? Let's just see. This round, Graham Horner, Chris Kuramula. It doesn't have a bearing right now, but it might in about a minute. That is just, I know we've got some cranky RBs in this country, but that's just one of our crankiest Victorian RBs. Just to break it down state for state. We need to do it. We need to actually break it down state for state. Countrywide, we're pretty tough, but gee, state for state, we've got them. So Barney Lindner in the clubhouse, 3 from 3 with a 5.099. Will that be enough to see Barney make the final yet? Got a couple of 2 from 2s out in front. There's some crackers to come. So Horner, he lost in round 1 to Billy Shelton on a hole shot, a Billy Shelton hole shot. Horner now. Oh. Horner goes for the wall, he goes for the wall. Oh, Graham, hold on to it, Graham. 5.28 gets the win. Oh, hold on to it, Christos. Oh, Christos, watch out. Oh, 4.84. Oh, God, you're giving me palpitations up here. Graham Horner, 5.28 all over the joint. That went for a walk and a half. That's a bigger walk than Johnny Howard used to take every morning. Horner finishes 2 from 3. 2 from 3 with a 5.28. I don't think he can come back from there. Christos finishes with a 4.84. All right. So Pete Faulkner and Ben Taylor are going to run each other. Pete Faulkner's 1 from 2. Ben Taylor, 100% zip today for Ben Taylor. So Benny could get 1. Pete could end up with 2 from 3 here. Both guys have got potential. Faulkner's been in the 5.20 zone all day. We know Ben Taylor can do it. We know Ben Taylor can do it. Bump City, bit more Bump City here in Joel's Garage Gear, OG 275. Oh, red light for Pete, that's his second one of the day. He's going to get the win anyway because they were paired solos. And Benny gets, well, Benny's had a shocking day today. Benny's had a shocking day. Pete Faulkner's ended up with 2 from 3 and a 5.25. So 2 from 3 with a 5.25. Horner 2 from 3 with a 5.28. Does that mean anything yet? We don't know. We know there's one pairing coming up where someone's going to be 3 from 3 as well. And that might just make it a little bit more academic, but right now we can't tell you. Are you okay, Graham? Graham, you okay, mate? That's a wild ride. God, that was crazy. Now, this run matters. This is the run of the round right now. Turnbull and Cowan. Victoria versus Queensland. right, boys, gentlemen. Matt Turnbull, round number 1 went 464. Round 2 went 461. Jason Cowan, round 1, 468. Round 2, 463. Mouth-watering. 2 cars built on opposite ends of the country. Turbo LSs as the common denominator. 275 tyres as the only other common denominator. The rest are completely different. Different weights, different wheelbase, different suspension setups, different tuning, different everything other than what we just talked about. But here they are, a couple of hundredths away from each other. Oh, we're pumping it, mate. It's just, mate, I'm just calling what's in front of me, mate. If it makes me look good, that's great. The Black Ute comes back into the final. The Black Ute into the final. Oh, KENDA just never ceases to deliver. Righto, this matters. This matters, big time matters. This matters big time. We know how big this race is. They both know how big it is. When these things run 460s, they hang the hell on. When this thing's on a mission, both of these things, you better watch yourself. Whoever wins this deserves to go to the final. There's the bulb. I'm going to say it again. Bump City, baby! Oh, what's happened? What? Holy crap, guess what? Guess what? No one wins. No ET. Matt Turnbull goes 2 from 3. Jason Cowan goes 2 from 3. I very rarely doubt that we'll be rerunning that. That's a stage infringement of the highest degree. Both guys, they felt the gravity. That's opened the door. That's opened the door right up. All of a sudden, Barney's in the clubhouse at 5:09. We need someone else 3 from 3 because guess what? Matt Turnbull, Jason Cowan threw it all away. What? Oh, Dangerous Dave's biased though, like, you know. So, to me, I don't think we're going to... I don't think we're rerunning that. Double reds. I think they both jumped at each other. God, those guys would have been... I would have loved to know their heart rates in both those cars because they knew the gravity of that situation. Their form leading up to that moment was red hot. And then to have that brain meltdown in that round. So let's have a look at who else might get there yet. Billy Shelton and Luke Knight. Luke's 2 from 2. Billy's 1 from 2. What happened to Luke? Billy, he zinged it, but he's not going to get an ET here. What happened to Luke? Did Luke get shut down or what? He's supposed to run. That's Billy and Luke. Billy goes 2 from 3 and got like an 11.88. This has all gone to the crumbs. This has all gone to crumbs. Billy was supposed to race Luke. That's here on the seeding. Luke was 2 from 2 up till then. What happened there? That we're crunching numbers in front of us. All right. We got to just take a little settler here for a sec. We've got to take a settler here for a sec. We've had some stuff go down here, which Netflix can't write this stuff. You can't write this stuff. You can't write the scenarios that we've just seen. Billy Shelton was supposed to race Luke Knight. I saw Billy take the tree and zing it and run an 11.88. I saw Luke Knight back out of the water. Did the thing stall or not fire? So this is an interesting thing here in round 3. This is an interesting thing here in round 3. I don't know in what scenario we had here that's something's happened out there, and we're sending them back. We're sending them back. All right. Judge's decision is normally final in the hands of the start line. We don't know. We don't know other than that was another little something that happened right in front of us, which I still can't explain. I really can't explain what we saw there. So this has just gone to crumbs. We got to get someone to race Barney in the final. We got to get someone to race Barney. Who have we got left? We got Graham Horner at 2 from 3 with a 5.28. We've got Graham Horner 2 from 3 with a 5.28. We got Barney. So all I can see on a count back, if we're not going to rerun Turnbull and Cowan, which I doubt we are, the only other one's 2 from 3 with an ET in round 3 is Graham Horner's 2 from 3 with a 5.28. Elvio and Harold, someone's going to end up 2 from 3 here. Whoever it is, whoever wins this will be 2 from 3. And if they run quicker than a 5.28, they could be in the final. You would not predict that at the beginning of the round. You can't write this stuff. You cannot create more of a sensational set of circumstances to determine who the winners are in OG 275. Elvio goes for a power wheel stand there. Elvio's going to get his first win of the night. He goes 5. He won in round 1, so he ends up 2 from 3. 2 from 3 with a 5.45. Harold Joss goes 1 from 3. Cameron McNabb, he can only go 1 from 3 here. So the naughty boy can only win this and go 1 from 3. He can't come back from here. He can't go back from here. I'm doing some count backs here. I'm going to see who's 2 from 3. Hang on a sec. Pete Faulkner's 2 from 3 with a 5.25. Faulkner is 2 from 3 with a 5.25. Horner is 2 from 3 with a 5.28. Turnbull and Cowan don't have a round 3 ET to present for consideration. Come on, naughty boys. Yeah, boys. 5.10. 5.10. But 1 from 3 with a 5.10 is not enough. 1 from 3 with a 5.10 is not enough. I bet you there's a bit of blowing up going on at the moment. I can hear some chatter. That, out of all the categories, that one is the most controversial, and I can't believe that this has happened. No one else. I didn't get an ET for Mick Warmall there, but 2 from 3 for Faulkner with a 5.25. I reckon it's Barney and Faulkner. I reckon it's Barney and Peter Faulkner. Now, Faulkner he's supposed to run Heisman's, but he raced Taylor, so you give him a win on a solo, and he went 5.25 with a red light. Faulkner lost in round 1, 1 in round 2, 1 in round 3, 2 from 3 with a 5.25. Graham Horner lost in round 1, 1 in round 2, 1 in round 3, 2 from 3 with a 5.28. Barney Lindner, the only one, 3 from 3, 5.09. All right, this one matters as well. look at this one, Hamilton. Oh, no, it's Sang goes 550. 550 with an 8. 550 with an 8 to Hamilton's 561. So Sang goes 3 from 3 with a 5508. That's a good point there, Tomo, but I can't decide. I can't decide. No ET. I can't decide that either. I'm only just calling what we see there, but Tomo's got a point. On that double staging infringement, someone had to have jumped first, but it's not up to us to determine who jumped first. We'd have to look at replays or something. So right now, Jason Sang in Renegade, thanks to Simon O'Carroll Swimming Pools, 3 from 3 with a 5508. Mallison and Setgas, we go to the stripe, and it is Jake goes 559. 559 to finish, 559 with a 2, to be 2 from 3 with a 559.2. That's my problem, Tomo, is that we don't have any ETs from both those guys, so no one really won the race, so no one's ahead of each other. Okay, Disco Dean, 1 from 2. Jeff Trapnell, 2 from 2. Disco Dean and Trappy. Disco Dean and Trappy. Red light, Disco Dean. Disco Dean goes 552. 552 with an 8. 548 for Trappy. 548, he can't present that. Disco Dean can win 552 with an 8. Let's see where Disco Dean ends up here. 2 from 3. 552 with an 8. We're going to have to really split that OG round up. If there's a first or worse with the double cherry, no one staged though. That was the problem. We didn't even get a tree. We didn't even get a printout. This matters. Aris is going to get a solo here. He's up against Dale Hartle Law. So Aris, here we go. Hits the stripe. 548 with a 7. Now he's 3 from 3. With a 548 with a 7. So the 48 with a 7, if it's 3 from 3 and it's a clean 3 from 3, we'll take it. If there's someone else that's 3 from 3, we don't need the ET. You know, do we get it? Do we get it? So that's the way I'm looking. We're looking at Aris, 3 from 3 with a 548.7. All right. So that's a Tomo, we're almost going to need someone to go back through the stream. Tomo, you might have to pull that back through the stream and find that. All right, we're going to have something like that. I think we're going to have something like that to see whether or not Matt jumped on Jason. But you know what? They both jumped after that. No one stayed. Yeah, I'd push for that too, Tomo. No one stayed. You know what I mean? No one stayed in stage long enough to see a result. Someone jumped, the other one jumped. they both jump, it's a hard one to choose. I know we may have had these before. Righto, Derek Logan. It means something to Derek if he can get this one in the bag. I need a few cut and dried ones here. We haven't had a cut and dried one in about eight pairings here. Derek Logan, Ryan Durant. Ryan 1 from 2. These all happen so quick, we're going to have to grind that 275 one back, that OG 275 one back a little bit. We're going to have to grind that one back a little bit. If both of you guys had maybe, you know, GoPros in the car, we want to see if one red light went first. Unless someone wants to hand the other win over. All right, here we go. Ryan Durant up against Derek Logan. Oh, what happened there for Ryan? Ryan Durant gets the win and goes 593, and then Derek loses with a 790. So Derek ends up 2 from 3, and Durant ends up 2 from 3. So hang on. Durant's coming around the other way here. Derek's given one up there. He's now 2 from 3 with a 790. Durant's 2 from 3 with a 593. Give me strength. All right, Ronnie Hope up against Robert Morris. These two guys will get a win. Robert Morris is going to finish at 2 from 3. And Ronnie Hope is going to end up 2 from 3. So again, these guys need an ET near 580. They might be in the final yet. No one's 3 from 3. So 2 from 3s matter here. We've lost Jai Ward. Robert Morris was supposed to be on a bye. So look, it's all about ET. It doesn't matter about... They both get a win. They both finish at 2 from 3. It's just what their ET is as to whether they can go quicker than a 593 to meet Ryan Durant there. RC Metalcraft, Ruckus. Oh, what a boil over all of this tonight. Oh, red light, but it doesn't matter. It's all about ET. It's all about ET. What do we get? 598, 558. So Robert Morris throws his away. We can't take his 558. We can't take his 558. We can take Ronnie Hope's 598. I'll take Ronnie Hope's 598. We can't take a 589. Our rules are that we can't take a breakout run as your ET in round 3. If we're splitting it on ET, we can't take an under the spot number. We've got to take the closest legal numbers. Righto, this might even change here too. Bailey Stokes is the only one so far left from 2 from 2. So Bailey, if he keeps himself clean here, he could be in the final, and it'd be maybe Ryan Durant and Bailey Stokes. If he goes slower than a 598, I think it's Ronnie Hope and Ryan Durant. Matthew Cowley back in the mix. Bailey Stokes. Cowley, none from 2. Stokes, 2 from 2. Clean greens. Oh, problems for Bailey. Problems for Bailey. He's pulled over. A 651 the win. 651 the win for Matthew Cowley with a 2. And Bailey Stokes has broken. Bailey Stokes has broken and finishes 2 from 3. Matthew Cowley finishes 1 from 3. Bailey Stokes is 2 from 3 and no ET to present in round 3. So Bailey effectively is out of any finals contention because there's not an ET we can judge him on. He finishes on 2 from 3. Robert Morris finishes 2 from 3, but Rob went 558 on that run. We can't take it on a 580 index. The two closest above 580 runs are both 2 from 3. Again, this is me just talking out loud. Ryan Durant, 2 from 3 with a 593. Ronnie Hope, 2 from 3 with a 598. So that's looking like, and I'm going back, we're counting back. Now, Derek Logan came into this round 2 from 2. He lost the race to Ryan Durant. Ended up 2 from 3, and the thing slowed down to a 790. So Derek's 2 from 3 with a 790. That's what he throws on the table. Ryan Durant finishes 2 from 3. He lost in round 1 to Bailey Stokes. Clawed his way back with a win against Robert Morris. And then just in that run there against Derek, won to go 2 from 3 and finish with a 593. Ronnie Hope then was supposed to run Jai Ward, but Jai's not here. Robert Morris had the bye, so we paired those guys up, both gave them the win. That made Robert Morris 2 from 3 and Ronnie Hope 2 from 3. The trouble is Robert Morris in round 3 went 558 on a 580, so we can't take that. We'll take Ronnie's 598. And then Bailey Stokes, 2 from 2, breaks against Matthew Cowley. Matthew Cowley doesn't do enough to get in the final at 1 from 3. Bailey Stokes finishes on 2 from 3 with a broken car and no ET to present. So that's a hard luck award, right? I mean, there's a million hard luck awards here today. But on paper, I reckon that's Ryan Durant, and I know Race Control will be doing backflips in there, right? Against Ronnie Hope. That's what I think the final will be in Ruckus. They're both 2 from 3. They're both over the 580, and no one went 3 from 3. We've got a lot of contention happening online. Now, Tanya's got a video here. So Tanya's got a video. I'm going to quickly watch this video. Oh, right. Okay. I wish I had a bigger screen than my phone. I might play it on Messenger. So we're just going through a little replay here. We are getting down into Ruckus in a second there, folks, by the way. We've got a broken Bailey Stokes out there. I'm going to try and play that message on a bigger on my iPad. So this is the theory of pushing for first or worst, right? So who left first? Who left first? That's the question. Now, we're talking about the Matt Turnbull, Jason Cowie run, right? We're talking about the Matt Turnbull, Jason Cowie run. Who jumped first? Now, remember, no one stayed in stage. They both jumped. And this is one of our big contentious issues about when you both leave before the tree. Right, so I'm gonna have a look at the video here. I'm gonna try and blow that thing up. All right, here we go. I'm pressing play. They're both going in. They're both going in. They're both bumping. They're both bumping. They're both bumping. They're both bumping. I've got to try and bring that back. That video's locked up on me now. Damn it. That's locked up. That's locked. Of course, it's locked up on me now. That's locked up on me. So there's talk, and again, this is to try and get a spot in the final. This isn't winning a final. This is trying to get a spot in the final. We've got to count back already in case we still don't have a decision, right? So here we go. We're gonna pull it back on the big screen here. So Benny's going to pull it back on the big screen. My iPad's just crapped itself. So here we go. We're pulling it back. So we're going back to OG. Going back to OG. Just play for a sec. Let's see where we are. Okay, this is the two. This is the two cars, right? So we're looking at it on our big screen. I mean, we could almost put that on the big screen to show everyone. But let's have a look. Here we go. So look. So Turnbull's got one bulb on. Here comes Jace. We're just looking at the replay on our live stream. Now both guys are in one beam, right? They got one bulb on. Jace bumps. Jace bumps. Oh! What? Can we pause that? Matt kind of just rolled, but Jason went too. Jeez, that... God, you need slow motion goggles. That's what you need. Did you see that? Can you see what we're dealing with there? We are dealing with fractions of a second. Oh, you're going to slow it right down. We're going to slow the playback right down on our live stream here. We're trying to look at this staging between Matt Turnbull. Both guys were on 2 from 2. We're not going to have enough time to crunch this in a sec. Both guys were 2 from 2. Turnbull puts on a bulb. Cowie puts on a bulb. I'll keep crunching these numbers. You have a look there, Benny, just quick. All right, so that's Ruckus. We're into Rumble. We're in the rumble. Okay, that's all in slow-mo. Rowan Hudson and Steve Hunt. Hey? Okay, they're both in pre-stage. Now, I do think you'll see Matt go in, and then you'll see Jason flicker the bulb. But then I do think Jason jumps, and then, or somewhere there, minusculely, Matt goes first. All right, Steve Hunt, Rowan Hudson, beautiful cars. Beautiful cars. How do we go? Hunt. Oh, Hunt loses one to Rowie. Rowie goes 642. 642 with a 3. 665 with a 7 to Steve Hunt. So Rowan Hudson goes 2 from 3 with a 642 with a 3. Let's see where that ends up. Steve Hunt goes 2 from 3 with a 665. Have we seen that yet? I'm pushing numbers here, but we're trying to grab that and look at that. We might have to get race control involved yet. So this one is Nathan Dawkins and Chris Pattinson. Now this is going to be crazy too. Both these guys are going to run each other. Pattinson's going to end up with 3 from 3 here because they're a paired solo. In other words, both guys were supposed to run other guys. They run each other nearly every round anyway due to absenteeism. So Dawkins is going to end up, well, I don't know. Let's see what Pattinson does here on that 640. This is all over Group Rumble. The sound of Barras screaming through the finish line. 654 for Chris Pattinson. 654 with a 5. He is 3 from 3. So we've got Chris Pattinson in the clubhouse. 3 from 3 with a 654 5. Righto. How we going there? How's the bunker going? How's the bunker going over there? Tackle 4. I've got no try. Just check the grounding. That's what we're doing. All right, Jai Ackland. He's 2 from 2. Shane Locke, 1 from 2. Shane could turn this around. We'll be crunching numbers here again here. This is a race that matters for Jai Ackland as much as Shane Locke. This is a battle for survival for Shane Locke. This is a battle for Jai Ackland. He just wants to put one more win on the board, and he's nearly in the final here in Rumble. It's happening in every category. Just stage and leave with clean greens. That's what we're asking. Oh, whole shot for Locke at 011. Here comes Jai Ackland. Watch out for the 640. Watch out for the 640. 49 for Locke. He finishes with a 649.6, and Jai Ackland finishes with a 675.7. So 2 from 3 with a 675.7. 2 from 3 with a 649.6. We're looking for the best 2 from 3, Nelly, here. In fact, that's what it's going to be, because nowhere else is there already someone 2 from 2. Everything else can be 2 from 3s here in a sec. We'll be looking for a 2 from 3 here. At the moment, it's locked 2 from 3 with a 649. Jamie Turner, Luke Hauser, again, both 1 from 2 can turn it into 2 from 3 here. But we've got to look at the ET. We're going to need an ET. Jamie 074, 112 for Lukey, who gets the win. He's out in front looking for the 640. Lukey goes the win with a 644.3. 644.3, and Jamie a 6.503. So Jamie ends up actually 1 from 3. Luke goes 2 from 3, and now 44 with a 3. 44 with a 3. So 44 with a 3 could be Hauser or Hudson. Hang on, Hudson. 42 with a 3. 42 with a 3. This one's a dead rubber, lucky enough. This one's a dead rubber, lucky enough. Bailey Simpson, Sean Smith. I need a time to catch my breath because we've got a lot on 2 from 3, like Hauser, 44, Locke, 49, Hudson, 42 with a 3. It might be Hudson and Pattinson in the final yet. I've got to crunch this after this. Bailey Simpson and Sean Smith, none of these two can make the final. They can only go 1 from 3, either or. But right now, I'm seeing Rowan Hudson at 2 from 3, the best competitor for Chris Pattinson, the only guy that's 3 from 3. So someone's going to get a win here between these two. Let's have a look. We hit the stripe. Sean Smith, Bailey Simpson. Sean Smith, 684, the win for him. 684 finishes up Rumble. 684 with a 2. And Bailey Simpson, the loss of 627, too fast. So I think it's Rowie Hudson. I think it's Rowie Hudson. Rowan's done enough in the last round. 60 in the final. If Petrovic wins this, we're counting 2 from 3s again. What's up, Benny? Is it because we froze the screen? No. All right, Scott DeGroot's out. He's on the brakes. 701. 701. He goes 7015. And that's 3 from 3. So I reckon that's Scott DeGroot. Petrovic goes 704 and he finishes with 1 from 3. So I reckon that's Scott DeGroot. But who's going to make it in the final now? We're looking for a 2 from 3. Mark Hopkins, or Alicia Teal. Alicia's 1 from 2. Mark is none from 2. Mark's got nothing to lose here. Alicia, she needs to go quicker than like a 725 and win to get to the final. She's got the whole shot. She's out there trying to win, but here is Mark Hopkins trying to get a win as well. A win. Who is it? No, it's Hopkins. Hopkins gets his first win of the day. 706. 7069. Alicia finishes 1 from 3 with a 722. So, on paper, the only other 2 from 3 is Paul Toms. That's what I'm seeing. Paul Toms, the only 2 from 3. We got to almost crunch that number back again. If we're going to go back to a count back as to who's going to be in the final, we need to look at this slowly because we're looking for the first one to jump out of stage right now, right? We're looking for the first one to jump out of stage right now. He bumps, he flickers. So we see Cowan flicker. We see Turnbull flicker. We see Cowan in. We do see the lights go out for Matt. So Matt is first to leave. Cowan goes after that. But again, it's up to us. It's not really up to us to determine that Cowie gets the win. 3 from 3, technically, if we've got it. Look, honestly, if you go on wins, if you're going to go on wins, if we're going to crunch it all the way back, and again, it's not up to me. We're only spitballing it. We will have to talk. I'm sure we're going to have to go have a chat in a sec to a few people. But that's... Thank you, guys, for the people that spotted that on the stream. We've literally just slowed that right down. And yet Matt will be the first to admit, he's already admitted to me he's had a brain fart, right? He's already admitted he had a brain fart. On paper, it looks like there's no one wins that run, right? No one wins that run on paper. But if we have to determine a winner of that pairing, someone jumped first, right? And it's been determined that we can see that. It looks like Matt jumped first and Jason might probably have been deemed that one. So if that's the case, well, there you go. So look, here's the other argument. Thank you, Jess. No result, both left before the tree. That was my initial reaction, Jess. My initial reaction is that if we're trying to force a result out of a pairing by first or worst, the tree wasn't activated. And when there's no tree activated, it can be a no result. So let me go and talk to race control. Everyone chat amongst themselves. there's going to be a lot of arguments going on right now. I don't know whether I need to talk to Justin right now or yet. I'm going to talk to Race Control and see what they think, and we'll be able to maybe announce some finals here shortly, all right? That's a good call, Jess, on that. So bear with us, folks. Bear with us on the stream. I know with the stream we're just going to run our credits through here at the moment, all of our great sponsors, and we thank them for it. But we are just going to go and crunch some numbers to make sure we've got all the right finalists here. And yes, we're taking all arguments on board. We're looking for a first or worse. 4 lights were on, that's right. The tree wasn't activated though, and we've seen races before where no one wins when the tree's not activated. So we've seen results come up with before as a no result, when the tree hasn't been activated. So this was a case that no one waited until the tree was activated. No one left. Not one amber was thrown, not one timer was triggered, and they both left. And if we are trying to force a result out of that, I'm going to go and see if we can get some sort of answer out of Race Control. We've got everyone telling us their version of events, and I agree with all of them that everyone's got a valid point and a valid argument to that. I don't know what happened. I actually don't know what happened on Luke and Billy's run there either, whether or not there was a leakage or something. I don't know. All I saw was Billy going to stage and Luke getting pushed back. That's all I saw on that. Yes, look, a rerun would be one thing to do, but I'm going to go and just quickly chat with Race Control on that. Yes, there's a point that no, the tree was not activated. They both left before it. Both of them left before it, and that there'd be a no result. So that's another argument. And if that's the case, none of those two are eligible for the final if that's the case. And we go to the count back, which I've got something here on the count back. So we'll go and weigh it in, check those out, keep your ears peeled, and any of the finalists that know they're in the final, get to the lanes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've crunched the numbers through race control. We've had some very spirited and free-flowing discussions. And it's not for all the categories, by the way. Like, we're all pretty cut and dried in a few of them. But, oh, man, I tell you what, how do we get competition so tight, Benny? How do we get it so tight? All right, so we know what the Outlaw Radial final is, right? Outlaw Radial, thanks to Lotus Caravans for the 10 grand, and Race Parts Melbourne for the 5 grand runner-up, is in fact Wade Wagstaff and Paul Merry. Now, they're out there in the staging lanes. We've got that. Let's go to Outlaw 275. Thanks to Outlaw Exhaust and Performance, the 10 grand, and the runner-up Spot On Performance 5 grand will be Jeff Campbell Brown and Connor Begley, all by virtue of the amount of wins in round 3 and the two lowest DTs. And in that round, Connor beat Lorenzo and ran a 64. Lorenzo needed quicker than a 64, and he still would have recovered to be 2 from 3, but he needed quicker than a 64. No one else was really in the mix. Okay, Outlaw 275. Let's go to Outlaw 235. The final is Cam Riley and Steve Lundy. So I think those guys are there. OG 315. The finalists will be Clint Hepburn and James Horan. OG 275. Now, this was the contentious one. We've had all sorts of input in regards to we must get a result out of a pairing. We must do this. We must do that. First or worse or whatever. Yes, on paper, on the video, Matt did jump. Jason jumped as well before the tree was activated. It is a double disqualification. They both effectively ruled themselves out of getting a win. So they ended up with 2 from 2. That's all they ended up with. They didn't end up with 2 from 3 or 3 from 3. They ended up with 2 from 2 by virtue of a double disqualification. Both guys left before the amber. But actually, not even before the amber. They left before the tree was thrown. So Matt flinched first. Jace went after him. So both guys were wide. But guess what? They're both out. So on a count back, and this is confirmed all by race control. We've been in there discussing it. Barney Lidner is in the final against Pete Faulkner. So Pete went 2, so we had no 3 from 3s other than Barney. When all these 2 from 3s and that double disqualification came in, we had to do a count back, and everyone went hard. Like I tell you what, Graham Horner missed out by 0.03 of a second. But it's Barney Lidner and Pete Faulkner in the final of Joel's Garage Gear OG 275. I'll leave Renegade till last. Radial Rebels, thanks to Nitto Performance Engineering, is Scott de Groot and Paul Toms. Now, our bracket marshals, God bless them, they've been working all day. They've got these guys into the lanes. That's great. Radial Rumble, the final will be between Chris Pattinson and Rowan Hudson, and I can see those two guys there. Radial Ruckus is between Ryan Durant and Ronnie Hope. So we've got to get Ryan Durant and Ronnie Hope to the lanes, please. So Ronnie in the Tirana, I think Ryan's in the Falcon. And the Renegade, thanks to Simon O'Carroll Swimming Pools, I think you can just get him. He's just turned up. By virtue of the only 2 cars with 3 wins from 3 after 3 rounds, Jason Seng and Aris Cantolian, the 2 finalists for there. Now, look, there's a contention that Aris went 3 from 3, but ran a breakout 5:48 in round 3. He did it against Dale Hartle Law, but the trouble with that run, it wasn't a competitive run between the 2, is that Dale was in there because he was seeded to run Hernan Tosti. Now, Hernan was a no-show, so Hernan didn't turn up. So Dale was going to go on a solo, but we put him next to Aris, who was supposed to race Patrick O'Shea. Now, of course, Pat was out tonight too. So Aris on a solo, Dale on a solo. Technically, both guys get a win and they get to run against each other. Aris went a 48, but he still ended up 3 from 3. Had there been another competitor with 3 from 3, Aris's 5:48 would not have made it to the final because it's deemed to be an illegal run. Because he did it on a solo, you cannot take the win away. He had a solo run technically against Pat O'Shea, and just say in theory he just ran by himself. He'd go 3 from 3 but run a 48. But luckily enough, no one else in Renegade went 3 from 3 except Jason Seng. So we take Aris's 3 from 3 and Jason's 3 from 3 and make that final. So that's Aris Contolian and Jason Singh in the final of Renegade. Yes, we did have I think Dale in there as well, but again Dale was in that run on a solo against Aris, and he ended up 2 from 3. So we didn't have any neat 3 from 3s there except Aris and Jason. And when there's 2 neat 3 from 3s, we don't consider the ET. It's only when we're splitting decisions on, when everyone's locked up on the same amount of wins, we need that third round 2 lowest legal ETs in every category. And when I mean legal, I mean on the fixed index categories, we consider the 2 lowest legal ETs. So if you're in the 640 class, and we've split that with 3 cars in the 640s tonight, we take the lowest legal ET, and we determine that to be the contender. So hopefully that all clears it up. Every time we have this, we have a new scenario that we have to address, and we've done that. We've addressed the scenario. We addressed the scenario of the 2 guys leaving together, and I'm sure Matt and Jace will both probably admit it now that you know, we'd love to rerun. We'd love to rerun a million runs, but we're not going to do that. We don't normally have the time to do it. We're in the hands of race control when it comes to that, and we don't normally rerun. That is, in normal circles, is a double disqualification. It was my reflex decision to call it that way. It was race control's decision to confirm that. So we are all in agreement there in race control with all the finalists. We did just have to discuss the Renegade situation, but then when it was explained that they were all on neat, the only 2 neat 3 from 3s is Aris and Jason in that situation. And no matter what the ET was in round 3, it wasn't up for contention because we weren't splitting the amount of wins up. We didn't have to fight it by the amount of wins. Does that make sense, Benny, doesn't it? Makes a bit of sense. Not Red Benny's going, no, I don't know what you're on about. So that's that double disqualification. That was going to be the Kraken run of OG 275 in round 3. It was going to be the cracker run. It was going to be an absolute cracker run. But yeah, look, both guys wide for sound. They both knew how important that round was. And just that, as they're bumping those 2 things in, and Matt's flinched and Jason's flinched, they both flinched at each other. And that's the end result. They both left before the tree was activated, and that's a double disqualification as it's been ruled by race control. So we've now locked it all in. We've got all of our finalists locked in. So hopefully from there we can sort out how all these finals are going to run, and hopefully we don't have any more contentious stuff to deal with anymore, because that was enough to really test the old brain gear. Really was enough to test the old brain gear out, but we got it sorted. I'll take a bite of this licorice and just work out what we're going to do next. Time to get some finals out there, folks, I think. Time to crown the champions for our KENDA Sydney round. Just towing them all around. Just making sure we got them all. Yeah, how about them? How about them apples, eh? Look, I don't rate any of these decisions as a controversial decision. When you break it down, we're normally pretty simple folk, and when you look at it there and when it's explained, it's the amount of wins, and then, as we always explain, it's the 2 quickest ETs, 2 quickest legal ETs in the final round, round 3, that we have to consider in the event of a tied win tally. It was pretty cut and dried at the end there when Aris and Dale went in on a paired solo. So they both already had the win before they started the run. So Dale ended up 2 from 3. Aris was 3 from 3 even as he went into the water. So Aris could have done whenever on that run. He technically was getting... Technically, he's still got to face that tree, of course. You've got to get up there and face the tree. Let's not take that away. You can't just roll up and not face the tree to accept your win. You have to put it into the beams. And as we try and encourage everyone to do, is give it hell. Give it hell. Here we go. Have a look at this. This is interesting. We've got the Nova getting pushed into the beams. We're getting the Nova pushed into the beams. Well, it can't be pushed into the beams. It's got to probably get into the beams on its own power. So this looks like to me our first run of the night, our first final of the night is Outlaw Radial, and I would suspect that that Nova is not happy mechanically. I'm just assuming that because normally if it's 100% happy mechanically, it's firing up under its own power and doing its own burnout. But I would say Paul is here to just take the green, but who knows what's going to happen. Wade's got to keep it clean and green too. Isn't it funny that, isn't it ironic that at one stage of life, both these cars were in the Wagstaff shed in Brisbane. Wade's was orange and Dad's was the Nova. Both purchased from the United States. Andrew had the Nova and Wade had the 57. But it's moved on. It had a pretty stout small block in the Nova, but now it's got a Proline in it, and now it's a 480 weapon. That last run by Mary was fantastic. 211. She's obviously hurt something in it that the thing is not happy. So he's just got to get that thing on the starter motor or fire it up and just put it in the stage. And all he can hope is that Wade red lights or does something. I know what Wade's going for. He might be going for the throat. I don't think he's going to back. I don't think they back this thing down. I think they're just going to give it up. I think they're just going to. I don't know what he's going to do. I'd love to see the 57 go out the back door one more time tonight. I'd love to see the 57 go out the back one more time tonight. 7-0 in the last run. 69 with the last run after that, and a 71 to start the day in round one. So what can Wagstaff do to finish tonight and win $10,000? We haven't decided the winner yet. We're going to decide that very soon. Paul Merry, Wade Wagstaff, Outlaw Radial final. Oh, it sinks a little bit out. Goes 997 in the 60. And the winner is Wade Wagstaff. The runner-up is Paul Merry. So Wade went out 997 in the 60. It broke loose a little bit further out, and that's all she wrote. Wade Wagstaff, what a return for the Grinch after a 9-month layoff. Comes back to the very first KENDA, wins Outlaw Radial in a pretty dominating performance, except for that run. But hey, you know what? He was having a swing there, I'd say. Paul Merry, worthy runner-up as well. I mean, it's hats off to all of our Outlaw Radial field. They are the hardest working guys we've got in drag racing, period. I mean, the commitment's just incredible, these cars. And we have seen some amazing numbers out of these vehicles yesterday and today. And I tell you what, there can only be one winner and one runner-up. So Wade Wagstaff gets 10K from Lotus Caravans from his sponsor. Race Parts Melbourne pays $5,000 to Paul Merry. Hats off to Paul, 211 mile an hour and a 38000 in round 3 to get him that spot in the final. But yep, I'd say something not quite right in the Nova after that run. Maybe they couldn't turn it around. Maybe there was an issue with it. It was a bit steamy out of one side. It might have pushed the gasket out. You don't know what it's done on that run. But it's enough for them to say, well, we're either out or we're going to put this thing into the beams and just make the stage. You've got to stage the car to register any race result. When you don't stage the car, when you don't face the tree, and I mean face the tree, you've got to have one set of, you've got to have the ambers come on to face that tree. If you do not face that tree and an amber comes on, the amber doesn't come on, you haven't faced it. So it just consolidates the whole double disqualification we saw a bit earlier on tonight. You've got to face that tree. In other words, you've got to go into stage. They've got to, the starter's got to flick that switch, and that light's got to come on. And if that doesn't come on, anything that happens before then, if you move out of stage or do whatever, you can be disqualified. If both of you do it, you're both disqualified, and that's the ruling that's come back. All right, well, let's just ramp it up a little bit here. Jeff Campbell-Brown and Connor Begley. This is the final of Outlaw 275, brought to us by Outlaw Exhaust and Performance. And here we are thinking we might have had a couple of big blocks in the final, but it was not to be. Round number 3, Connor Begley took on fellow West Australian Lorenzo Galotto. Lorenzo on a tear, 4.16 in round 1, 4.10 in round 2. Was ready to unload against Connor. Probably didn't have to handle Connor as hard as he went for him, but the Mustang zinged the tyres. Connor went right past, went a 64 beside him, and at that stage we didn't even think Connor would have had enough to the final. But when we start having countbacks, Connor had a solo in round 1. Round 2, he lost to Jeff Campbell-Brown, but in round 3 he beat Lorenzo. So he ended up 2 from 3 with a 4.64. No one else could contest that. Nathan Rose fell by the wayside. Jared Blair fell by the wayside. Danny Lansdowne didn't have enough wins. So Connor Begley ends up there in the final here, where at the very least he might take $5,000 of spot-on performance money. If anything happens other than that, who knows? The Outlaw Exhaust and Performance 10 grand could be his, the underdog, the 6 litre against 622 cubes. Oh, yeah. Watch out. All right, let's go to Bump City, baby. Oh, they both want it. Oh, Campbell-Brown. Campbell-Brown sinks the tyres. Campbell-Brown, something happens under the car. Connor Begley wins it. Connor Begley wins it. A 4.54 in the final. A 4.54.2. It's a boil-over. An absolute boil-over in the final of Outlaw 275. Oh, you can't tell how these things are going to end up. You are not going to be able to tell how these things end up, but that's how it ended up. That little tiny little staging duel. It wasn't even a staging duel. They just put the bulb on, top bulb on both. Then when they're ready to engage, off they went. Connor went in first. Jeff went in right after him, and a flash of the green and they're gone. 0.53 light for Connor, 0.81 light there for Jeff. Out they go, and it was all over before the 60 foot for Jeff, and Connor goes 1.11 in the 60. That little 6 litre LS goes a 4.54 at 156 and takes home, which will probably be his biggest win ever. Not too many people can take home 10K, and that's a win to the WA team over the Queensland team. So, Jeffrey, now there were some sparks out of the underneath of the Chevelle. So, had Jeff Campbell-Brown won that would have been $20,000 that he's won at a KENDA this year. So he's only won 15 grand this year now, Jeff Campbell-Brown. If he'd won that, he would have been $20,000 up, because that's what he won at the King of the Kids earlier this year. All right, Outlaw 235 final. Here's another WA versus Newcastle battle. This is Outlaw 235, brought to us by Haltech. 3 grand the win, 1,500 the runner-up. Cam Riley from Newcastle, Steve Lundy from WA. 4.50 in the last run. 4.503 for Cam Riley. Steve Lundy went 4.68. So this is another situation where it's like, well, on paper it's this, but we know that sometimes things don't work on paper. You've got to test the result yourself. So here we go. Outlaw 235. Lundy got to the final last night of the small tyre shootout. Cam Riley got taken out by Cortina, I think, in round 1. But here he is in the final. May the best man win. Haltech 235. And a bit more Bump City for you people watching at home and watching here live. Oh, they're go. They're side by side. Lundy, it's Cam Riley in the end. It's Riley. 4:49. The first ever 4:40. The first ever 4:40 in 235 history in Australia. 4:66 for Lundy beside. 4:66 for Lundy aside. 054 for Lundy. 074 for Cam. 114 for Lundy. 120 for Cam in the 60. Wow. 4:49 at 166 mile an hour. The biggest number in 235 history. And Cam Riley the winner. Whoa. 235 history. 235 history. Again. All right, OG 315, thanks to Fuel Tech. 3,000 the win, 1,500 the runner-up. It's a black ute against a white Gemini. Two Queenslanders, 1,051 cubic inches out there on the line right now. Where's your money at? Is it the Casper or is it the black ute? Both guys ran 4:10 in qualifying today. This promises to be an absolute barn burner. All these finals are just crazy finals, ladies and gentlemen. All right, here we go. Both guys just getting themselves sorted. $3,000 the win, 1,500 the runner-up. Some amazing performances throughout the day from all of our categories. And OG 315, James Horan went 4 flat in round 1, 420 with a power stand in round 2, and then went 401 in round 3 against Mazzatelli. Clint Hepburn went 413 round 1, 406 round 2, 408 in round 3. May the best man win again. What a cracking pair in OG 315, thanks to Fuel Tech. Citizens of Bump City, may we see you there again. Oh, Horan straps a whole shot on the Casper, and Horan 396, 396. He gets a 3-second run, 198 mile an hour. Clint Hepburn 509. The win to James Horan. The win to James Horan, and that'll be the last time he runs in OG 315, because you know what happens when you run a 3. You know what happens when a 3 comes up. You kind of got to go back into outlaw, because as much as you're an OG, you're now a 3-second car, which makes you an outlaw. James Horan, the winner in Fuel Tech OG 315. All right, OG 275. Brought to us by Joel's Garage, 3,000 to win, 1,500 runner-up. Barney Lindner, 3 from 3. Peter Faulkner, 2 from 3, but a 525 in round 3. All right, where's your money at? Faulkner probably didn't even know he was going to make it into the final, but he just kept on keeping on. That third round paired solo with Ben Taylor got him a win straight off the board. He could have just given it up, but he went at 25, and that was enough to get him into the final on a count back because of what happened between Matt Turnbull and Jason Cowan. That was a double disqualification when both left before the tree was thrown, and that meant we needed a count back. The only one with 3 from 3 was Barney Lindner. We had a few at 2 from 3, and we had to find the quickest guy that was 2 from 3, and it was Peter Faulkner, 5:25. Graham Horner went 5:28, so he nearly got there too. But it's big Barney Lindner, nitrous, big block against Turbo LS for Peter Faulkner. Oh, he's been good on the tree, Faulkner. He's been good on the tree. 008 for Faulkner. Oh, it's Barney. Barney wins it. 5:11 in the final against Faulkner's 5:23. Barney goes 051. Faulkner goes 008 on the tree, but the win for Barney Lindner wins OG 275 in Sydney. Oh, it doesn't get any better than this. All right, our two 550 guys. Now again, Sengi made it to the final. In fact, they both made it to the final because they both were the only 2 competitors that finished with a neat 3 from 3. Yes, there was a bit of contention about that paired solo in round 3 where Aris and Dale Hartle-Law ran each other, but they had both were on paired solos. In other words, they could run their own race and they were still getting a win before that. We didn't have to split a decision on ET because there wasn't one to make. 2 clear 3 from 3s it was. Aris Cantolian and Jason Seng, and here they are in the final of Simon O'Carroll Swimming Pools Radial Renegade. Oh, 050 to an 088, they're out there. 088. And there we go. Oh, it's Aris. Aris gets the win. 5:56 for Aris to a 5:62. 5:62.5. Runner up the Sengi. He got him on the line there, did Sengi, but Aris just kept it closer to the 5:50, and a 5:56 is the win for Aris Cantolian. Where are we at? How good are these finals been? Congratulations to all winners and runners-up. We're going to have a hell of a trophy presentation very, very soon. All right, Ryan Durand and Ronnie Hope, same deal here. No one was 3 from 3. We had to use the 2 from 3s. And Connor Begley, sir. Connor Begley, how does that feel? To be an underdog, but then take 10K home. How good is that feeling? Congratulations. Righto. Both guys, 2 from 3. Ronnie Hope got in there because he ran a 5:98, and Ryan Durant's in there because he went 5:93. Derek Logan was also 2 from 3 but went 7:90 in round 3, and Robert Morris went too quick with a 5:58. So here we go, the Ruckus 580 class final. 2 Tiranas in the final. Oh, clean green, Durant strapped the whole shot, but it's all about the 580 though. It's all about the 580. Ryan Durant wins it. He wins it with a 5.94 in the final, beats Ronnie Hope's 5.85. Ronnie went quicker, but that reaction time advantage going to Ryan Durant, and the win, thanks to RC Metalcraft Radial Ruckus. All right, these 2 guys. Tell you what really threw the spanner in the works today was all of these guys falling by the wayside. So guys that had broken and then we couldn't reseed after that. That's how we counted back. That's how Rowan Hudson got into this final. Chris Pattinson was the only one 3 from 3 in the ute. Rowan Hudson had to claw his way in from round 3. Clean greens, a little bit better for Pattinson, an 089 to a 274, but we hit the stripe. Oh, it's Pattinson the win. A 6.56 wins on a hole shot to Rowan's quicker 6.44. A runner up there, and that's all on a hole shot. 628 thousandths the spread at the end. The all-over group Rumble final winner and runner-up. The winner, Chris Pattinson. The runner-up, Rowan Hudson. All right, one more run. Here it comes. Final run of the night. Radial Rebels, thanks to Nitto Performance Engineering. 1,500 the win, 750 the runner-up, Ford versus Holden, 2 New South Welshmen, Paul Toms in the Monaro, Scott de Groot in the XD Falcon. Let it go, boys. De Groot, the only one to go 3 from 3 tonight, but he's got Paul Toms to face here. De Groot went 0-1 in the last round, so he's got to be careful here. If Toms cuts a whole shot on him, no one does. Oh, a little bit better to De Groot. They're out there now. Careful about that. 7 flat, the 7 flat, the 7 flat, 7 flat. 7 flat. Scott de Groot, 7 flat in the final. Paul Toms, 7.06. What a final, folks. 81 thousandths at the stripe. What a way to finish. The slowest category of the lot. And we go perfect. 7 flat for Scott de Groot. You can't do any better than that. Congratulations to all our winners and runners-up. We'll be rewarding all you guys at the KENDA trophies very, very soon. So you can pack up a bit, grab yourself a cold one. Big thanks to all the Sydney Dragway officials for your tireless work. We'll be thanking you guys also at the trophies as well. But thank you all for coming. And I just go to show, these are the real supercars, and that's what it looks like after a great day at KENDA. So we'll do the trophies here shortly. Thanks for watching on the live stream. It was good that we were able to do that and share that with you. How tough is that stuff? What a great one. Good night all.